All right, everybody. So here we are at Crater Lake National Park. This place is unreal. So cool. Funny story is I forgot my GoPro batteries at the campsite. So that does a lot of good. That's real cool. But we got some other adventures we're going to do here. We are staying at Valley of the Rogue, and stay with us. This is the other side. You can see it's just beautiful. We're actually standing on Mount Mazama right now. Off there to the distance, I don't know if it comes through very good on this. You can see Mount Shasta. That's real faintly out over in this area out here. There's McLaughlin, and then there's Union Peak. The view up here is just incredible, as you can see. I'm sure this video ain't gonna do it absolutely no justice though. We're gonna keep driving around the lake rim here and see what else we can see. The day falls. We drove almost all the way around the lake. It's worth it. Park was on the bucket list and did not disappoint.
your friends or family back home about this one, but technically, yes, we are stealing water from you guys down there. I know it's really messed up of us too, because we know you're not doing too well on the stuff, and here we are still taking every little bit we can get. What do we think? Should we take a little detour? We'd probably make it about 50 yards if we get stuck. I'll show you their nest in just a moment. They just had some offspring recently, and you've been seeing a baby fly around here and there. This little beach gets very popular among rafters and powerboaters over the summer. Its name is Miami Beach. Now I mentioned back in town kind of how over the last week or 8-9 days that the rivers dropped down to the minimum flows for the rest of the summer. So you can see it really shows on the left side here where that water is up that white line, about 1.5 to 2 feet up. That's where our river was at just up until a little over a week ago. You can really see that drop down here in spots like this with how narrow it is. Up river ways, you can definitely notice there's some more rocks that have came into play than before, but you don't see it quite as bad as down here. Got a guardrail way up on the hillside straight in front of us. Way up there, Merlin Galice roadway. Now the 1964 flood at its peak put water 10 feet from that road up there. And again, with how narrow it is in here, you can imagine it filled this canyon up quite quickly. And our flow today here in Grants Pass was about 1,540 cubic feet per second. 64 peaked at 152,000 cubic feet per second. Almost 100 times the flow of water that we have today. And as you can imagine, this canyon was virtually non-existent at the peak of that flood. question of how the depth throughout the canyon here. Your average depth, you're looking here from about 45 feet, and there's a spot kind of about the midway point around where we're at, where it pushes closer to 80 feet deep. Has filled in a little bit over the years. Actually, just at the beginning of the canyon, that's starting to fill up with gravel. Now, over the years, there's been a handful of movies and TV shows that have had parts filmed down here in the canyon. The most recent movie was released back in 1995. It's got to be River Wild, starring Meryl Streep, Kevin Bacon, John C. Reilly. And then there was an episode of Gunsmoke that was released back in 1960. It was called The River Part 1, that episode was. You had James Arness in it running from the outlaws, and he was running until he met the canyon wall. Where he jumped off of is going to be just above us, way up there to the right, about 100 feet up. There's that big ledge hanging out. We're about to go under now. So actually, James Arness didn't have to jump, but his stunt double did. So, kind of funny enough, our pilot Brent, who's running that second boat today, he was talking about that scene here years ago and had a gal speak up, say that the stunt double was actually her son. Now again, this is back in 1960, so he did have to jump more than one time, and he got paid $20 to do it. And then before I forget, my personal favorite movie that's had parts filmed down here came out back in 1975. This movie my dad made me watch more times than I can remember growing up. Got to be Rooster Cogburn, starring John Wayne, Katharine Hepburn.
What's up, everybody? We're getting ready to do a Rogue River little float down to our campsite. This water is absolutely freezing cold. I have my wife back with me, and I know the last couple times I didn't have her with me, so it's good to have everybody here and stay with us. This ought to be this water's freezing. I mean, this is crazy. This is my vehicle that I am headed down that river down there. Yeah, I know it's a little sketchy, but you know what? You only live once. What the heck? We'll just make it happen. Stay with us if I'm still here.